What the hell happened here? Well, I finally started on what I said I would start on and started ripping everything apart. So I pulled everything out of the engine bay and pulled out most of the wiring, and I'm going to clean up some things and start on this turbo 4.8 project. Here is the billet 7875 turbo. So that's what we're going to review, because this is Project Don't Bullshit Me, guys. So what I have here is the outline for everybody. This is like a 2002 4.8, but no, this is a 4. Great. And these are great 62 cylinder heads, and I'm going to use, basically we talked about this, and this is the 2017 budget build. I always, tell people to buy all this stuff, and then everyone's like, well, you have a Holly and you have a big ass turbo. And yeah, we were on a race for 1,000 horsepower and messing around and learning some things on the way. Anyway, this is the budget oriented part of that we're going to go over, and I'm going to show you guys how well it works, and we're going to see what happens. So what I did was I'm going to do decapped injectors. I have a truck intake and another truck intake, and I have 8 injectors in this one and 8 in the other one. So I'm going to pull all 8 and decap all 8 and send them to Eric and have him flow them, and he's going to match the 8 closest ones. What I'm going to use is a stock ECU, which is what most people are going to do. I'm using the VS Racing billet 7875. I'm putting in my old PTC converter that I had in the truck prior that my buddy Casey has. My buddy Casey is buying the motor, intake, Holly, turbo, wastegates, converter. We're putting it into his 62 Impala. And I'm going to convert it to a single 450. I'm going to use a PSI harness, and I'm going to install like a Tahoe Blazer Silverado dash in here, and I'm going to show you guys how I do all of it. So I yanked out all of the wiring except for just my fuse panels, and I'm going to go over everything. Oh, I got to pull out the dash yet, but this is the start of it. And over here I have, this is the 4.8 that's going to go in, and this is the sloppy stage 2 camshaft, and this is my turbo. No, that's not my turbo. Anyway, that's the 4.8 that's going to go in over here. So we're going to do the budget converter, the cheap ass weak rotted motor, and we're going to do the pretty budget turbo that everyone wants to see what it'll do, and we're going to do a stock computer. And what I also want to do is, I found an operating system. This might be a little bit over some people's heads, but there's a stock 02 Chevy Tahoe OS that uses flex fuel. So I would like to hook up the flex fuel sensor to the truck with the stock computer and learn how to do a little bit of stock computer tuning with the flex fuel sensor. So that would be cool too. So we can talk about the limits of decaps with a flex fuel sensor on a stock ECU with the billet turbo, and we'll go over all of that. And what I think I'm going to do is, since I cut everything out of the car, I have a dash 10 here for a fucking fuel feed now. I'm going to get a fitting that just goes 10 to 6 and then go 3/8 into the stock rail, and then here's my return, so that'll be fine. And then I'm going to pull my pumps out, and 2 of my pumps are going in my buddy's Supra. I'm keeping 1 of them, and we're going to learn the limits of all of this cool stuff that I tell everyone to get, and I hope it works. So that is a quick update. We will see how everything goes, and you guys can hang along for the ride. But I just wanted to rip everything out. I did a neat time-lapse video of me ripping most of this stuff out. I'll do a little bit more when I pull the motor, because when I pull this motor, I'm going to swap the oil pan and turbo kit onto the 4.8. I'm going to do the cam and valve springs in the 4.8, put it in here, show me putting the converter in, and then I'm going to show how I do the wiring and everything start to finish with that stuff. It'll be neat to have a nice overview of how I connect stuff like that. And I know that's what everybody wants. So Project Don't Bullshit Me is in effect.